I've got a little something special. Look what I've got. This appears to be quite old. Now it doesn't actually work, so I've been given this to try and repair. But it's in such a good condition box. Look at this. I love it when people actually... Oh, looks like it came from Argos. It came from Argos by the look of things. But I love it when people keep things in their boxes like that. And they're in perfect condition. No scuffs. We'll see what the actual car itself is like in a minute. But it's in its box, and I love it when people do that. So let's... Apparently it just doesn't work. So let's go and put it on the bench and have a look, see if we can find out what's exactly wrong with it. I'm guessing, because it's been about 15 years just sat somewhere, not in its box like that, it's probably going to be the battery's no good. Probably going to need a new battery. That's probably all it's going to be. But we'll have a look and see what happens. Well, here we go then, in its nice lovely box. Let's take it out of the box and see what we've got. I'm pretty much going to be guessing that it is going to be the battery that's not good. But apparently it's been charged up. It's been charged up for a whole night, but it still doesn't work, which indicates to me that it probably is the battery. But look how good a condition that's in. That's in perfect condition. I love it when people do that. Just keep things in their boxes. It's probably never been used. Probably hasn't ever been used. Alright, so we've even got the little aerial tubes here. This has never been assembled, I wouldn't have thought. Got little aerial tubes to put on your aerial. You know, you get a spare one. There's the aerial, look. Little aerial there. You just don't get people to keep things in their original boxes anymore. Not as much as what you used to. Then now, back in the day, Argos used to do, and so did some just ordinary shops. For those of you that don't know, I mean, they'd be surprised if you didn't, but Argos is just a shop. Oh, it's like just an ordinary shop. You can buy anything from furniture, jewellery, expensive jewellery as well, kids' toys. You can buy anything you want in Argos. They do clothes, they do all sorts in Argos. And back in the day, not so much now, but back in the day, certainly when I was a kid, if you wanted to spend the money, of course, you could get good, actual good toys, you know, ones that are actually worth their money. And this was one of them. And I remember, I do remember seeing this. I remember seeing the adverts for it and everything. This is a good one. So let's assemble the old transmitter. Look, get good. It does feel quite light. The car itself is actually quite heavy. It's got good tyres on it and everything, but we'll get into the actual car in a minute. But what I want to do first is I want to try and work out what the actual problem is. So let's install the old transmitter. Apparently this transmitter comes on, whether it works or not, I don't know. Radio band, look, it's still got, oh, I thought that was being screwed in. Alright, it's not. It needs to go down a little bit further than that. But we'll work this out. There we go, feels like it's being screwed in now. Must have just missed it. There you go, screwed in now. Yeah, so it's even got crystals. Nowadays you don't get anything with crystals in anymore. As I'm sure you lot are fully aware, you know, you're probably all RC nuts. But it's an AM band, 26995 this one was on. 26995. So, does that come on? Yeah, we've got a little green light there. So that indicates that this works. But apparently there's just no life from the car. So, let's take off these little plastic R-clips and have a look to see what we've got on the inside. It's quite exciting actually, because like I said, you rarely get, especially, let's move you down a little bit so you can see a little bit better, there we go. You rarely get cars that are this old, well I say this old, yeah, it kind of is old, but that are kept in this good a condition. Yeah, it has been used, it must have been used a little bit, but not a great deal. You've got your single one shock there and your little one there, as you would expect from a kid's toy. It's got good tyres on it, so that's been taped down. Whether that was supposed to be taped down or not, I don't know. Right, so it's got minimal scratching around there. Look. So let's have a look to see what we've got for a battery. Apparently no life comes from it whatsoever. It's a 9.6 volt, lovely jubbly. So how do we get this out then? How do we get you out, battery? There you go. Now, what I'm thinking of doing is, what is this? Let's have a look. Blah blah blah. Do not recharge battery if it's not allowed to call. Blah blah blah. See, the chances are that is going to be dead. You know, it's not going to like charging. But we'll have a look. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go and get a multimeter, and I'm going to test to see if we've got any power coming out of it. It might not have any power in it. We'll have a look. Got one here, multimeter, 9.6 volts. So we want to put it. I'll put it there. That might do the trick. So we got 10.57 on there. Don't know whether you can see that. So at least that indicates that we have got power. There is power within the battery. So I don't know why it's not. Might not have enough, because sometimes what can happen with the battery is it can have power in it and it can read power, but it just doesn't have any grunt. There's no, I don't know how else to explain it. So that goes in there like that, and that goes in the wall. At least it's supposed to go in the wall. There we go, like that. And that goes on charge. We've got any lights? No lights. There we go, look, it's on the wall. There's no lights on it. How do you know if it's charging or not? That is the question. How do you know if or when it's charged? No lights are on it. Well, it's clipped in and it's turned on, so let's have a look at the car, shall we? So here we go, look. We've got our little battery door. No corrosion on that. Or anything like that. So, I don't know what to do. Shall I wait? There's no instructions with this, but usually with these you used to have to charge them for like 8 hours. But it did have some charge in it, so we'll have a look. Let's have a look at this crystal. Why has it been taped down? I don't think it probably should have been taped down. For some reason it's been taped down. I wonder if that was taped down from when it was from when it was bought, and it's just stayed taped down ever since. I miss the old crystals. I miss them a lot, you know. Now you only get the rubbish. What is it? 2.4 gigahertz or whatever it is. I can't remember now. But that's a load of rubbish. You want the old crystals, don't you? That's what you want. Anyway, so that's that. We've got a little connection here at the back, which seems to be in good condition. No corrosion or anything within there, so that's all right. Put that back together. There that go. Cool. Got it apart and I can't get it back together again. Come on. What's going on here then? That way. That's it. There we go. Got our little tube. Let's put a little tube on here, shall we? Some people didn't run these little tubes. Some people just let the aerial flop about. I used to put these on, but then I'd have it a little bit too much at the top. I like that. Like that does. It sort of flops about at the top. I like that. Right. can't really do too much until we've got the battery installed, because then we can go and test wires and things and see where power is going and where power is not going. So let's put the battery in. And what I might do is test that little wire with that little connection that I just took off and see. Oh, I heard a noise. Yeah, there was a noise. But there's nothing coming from it. Not even a steering, nothing. I wonder. So that comes out of there. Right, let's get the multimeter on here and see if we can get any voltage coming out of that little plug. I don't know what one's going to be live and what one's going to be negative, but there's nothing coming out of there. That one goes to the motor. But I wonder if it only when the trigger's pulled. Well, it shouldn't be only when the trigger's pulled, should it? Right, let's get some screwdrivers and take the top of the cover off. I wonder what we'll... screwdriver. I wonder what we'll find underneath here. What should we find? These usually aren't too complicated. You've just got a few wires here and there. Nothing major. Why can't we get that off? I wonder if that has to be undone as well. Which is quite possible. I thought that was just for that, but no, it is. That's just for that. Holds that back axle on. So now, can we get that off? What's holding this on then? Let's take that crystal out of there. Oh, we don't need that tree wire. Take that off. That goes out of there. Alright, now we can get rid of the back axle altogether. No, we've only left with this bit. So what's holding? That must be holding that on then. Let's take this off. Right, now can we get this off? Still held on. Little screw there. Shouldn't be any more. It's probably glued. Ah, that's why. Look. Little clips. Not only is it screwed on, but it's clipped on as well. Right, so now we should... Oh, more clips. Everywhere is clipped. Right, so here we've got our little circuit board and we can see if there's any corrosion, any wires come off. We've got little pots there that can't be turned, they're all stuck down. It's basically just a radio circuit board. Because obviously it's just radio frequency, that's how it works. So I'm just going to have a little look around and see if I can find anything that's broken. Right, I'm at a little bit of a lost end here. This is why I don't typically have electric cars. I tend to have nitro or petrol cars because Give me an engine any day and I can get that going, or I can find out what's wrong with it. When it comes to the electrical side of things, you know, when it comes to nitro cars, you got your, you know, your controller, and then you got your servos and things. If they tend to go wrong, you can just replace them. When it comes to radio boards like this, even though I have a radio transmission license, doesn't mean I can fix radios. I don't really know what's wrong here. So we've got power coming from the battery from the terminals. There's power from there, 10.5 volts. We've got power in this top little plug here. There's 5 volts on some of these. Don't have much more power. Some of them are obviously aren't going to have power. Some of them are just going to be signals and things. So the switch is working because we're getting power to the board. Power's going to the board, but once it gets to the board, not a lot really happens. There's, like I said, I'm not really entirely sure what power should be on what plug. Hopefully that can be seen there. Yep, you can see that. So if I stick the earth there, on these ones here, this one obviously goes to the steering. So the red one, yeah, we've got 0.14, 0.14 on blue, black 0.68, 1.5, 3.10 on the yellow, green is the most at 5.15. So there is power going through the board, it's just not being transmitted, it's not being used. So I went and got one of my HPI transmitters. I stuck the crystal in there from here, from out of the transmitter for this, just to see if the transmitter was the problem, but we're still not getting anything out of there. So I don't think it's the transmitter that's the problem, unless this crystal's had it, but I haven't got another crystal to put in. I've only got one, which was in this one. I haven't got the other one, 27075. I haven't got the other one. So, well, it's rare. I mean, the crystals did used to break up, but it is a rare thing. I don't think that's the problem, because I know power's getting into the board, so I don't think the switch is the problem. I don't think, because even if the crystals was broken up, when you turn it on, you'd get an initial sort of where the wheels would straighten up and it would just be ready to rock and roll, from my experience anyway. So I don't think the crystal's broken up. So I don't really know where else to go. I'm just going to have a little play around, see if I can jiggle something, see if I can work out. I can't find any loose wires, no loose pots, no loose resistors, nothing appears to be loose. I get the feeling over the years one of these has broken down, but finding which one is I never delved that far into the electronics on radio boards to find out why. So I'm gonna have a little play around. In the meantime, I mean, obviously by the time this video goes up, I would have stopped playing with this. But while I'm having a play around, if you've got any ideas of what it might be, just leave a comment. And yeah, if I haven't fixed it by the end of this video, well, you'll know. If I haven't fixed it, then I'll definitely try it, see if we can get it going. Alright, so I've come across something. I've made it come alive a little bit. Turned it upside down, turn these wheels, and we get a little bit, but there's no, if we turn there's nothing happening. And there's still no throttle either. But there is power going to the steering then, there must be. Sometimes a little tap. So we definitely got a brake there somewhere. So at the moment, like I said, I'm at a bit of a lost end. I don't know what's the matter with this. So this is where I ask for your help and advice. You the radio controlled geeks of the world. Where's the other thing? The radio control geeks of the world. Well, all 600 and so of you that are subscribed to this channel. What's the matter with it, man? What do you think? What do you think is the trouble with this? I've managed to, there must be power going to the steering, because I can't, it stopped it all of a sudden. But when I turned it, it tried to combat me, it tried to turn back straight, but there's nothing turning it, there's no reaction from it at all. There's power going to the board. It's when it gets to the board, something is wrong in the board. But where to go from there, I don't know. I'm not a radio board expert, I don't know anything about that. So, what do you lot think could be the trouble? Where should I go next? What should I test? How should I test it? And between us, we'll get this going. But I need the help from you lot. So in the comments, give me your ideas and suggestions, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.
I know.